Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing Sex Education Season 3. I just binged it all yesterday, so yeah, now I get to give you my personal review of this season. Now, I will say this straight off the bat. This is my favourite season of Sex Education. I haven't gone back and rewatched it. I went back and rewatched the Season 2 finale just to get all caught up. And yeah, I definitely will say that Season 2 is the weakest season in my opinion. They're all great, don't get me wrong, they are all fantastic, but I really did not like Ola and Otis'S relationship in that season, and yeah, it just started to get annoying after a while. So yeah, nothing wrong with Season 2, but Season 3, it's very, very similar to Season 1 in the way it engages you with these characters, and I personally just like it even more than Season 1 for the messages that it sends. This is the thing about this show and why it might be the best made show on Netflix, because it's very consistent with what it wants to do. It's 10 out of 10s and the occasional 9 out of 10s, but it's so consistently great. And what this show has that not a lot of other shows do have, even great shows, this show has heart. You can tell that the people that have written this show and have created this show, they really want to send a good message for people to walk away from the show and actually learn something from it. And it's really, really great to see, because yes, I love all the Disney Marvel shows. Like, obviously, Marvel is entertaining and does have good messages here and there. But the main reason of those shows is just to entertain you. And that's what a show is supposed to do. But imagine having a show that can entertain you consistently for a whole season, 3 now, can entertain you that much, but also leave you thinking about the show afterwards, and just the messages it's sending and the ideas. And I really do believe this show has helped a lot of people, especially people around the age of the characters in the show. So kids in school, kids in college, sort of help them express themselves how they want to be expressed, because as it's shown in this show, people can shame you for stuff that you like and what you want to do, and maybe what you feel comfortable doing and being isn't maybe allowed or accepted where you live or the people around you or stuff like that, and that is wrong. And this show portrays that very realistically and really sends the message that you should express who you are the way you want to, because that is you, and you should never be ashamed of yourself. And just the moral message of this show throughout every season, but especially this one, has always been positive, and it's really good. And this is the thing with Netflix. No matter how you feel about the fact that they reveal all the episodes at once so that you can binge it or whatever, maybe that's not the best marketing strategy, because you want to make people stay on subscriptions and pay for more months, because obviously it's about making money at the end of the day. Like, that will always be the point of these shows, to do well so that people tune in and buy your subscription for your platform, because it's all financial. But with this show, they let you binge it, and when you binge a show like this, you see very quickly, because this show is very fast paced, and that is very realistic, because people at this age, it is very fast paced, because obviously hormones are flying, and yeah, it's set in a realistic world that you can connect to, especially if you're from the UK, because I don't know, I feel like there's a feel to it that you'll just get a lot more. I'm not saying that Americans can't, or wherever you're from, but yeah, I don't feel like this show is talked about enough in America, actually. I don't really, because I watch a lot of YouTube, I watch a lot of American film reviews, show reviews, and it's really not talked about as much as it should be. This show is so good. So yeah, let's talk about characters. One storyline I wish they kept on a little longer, maybe for this entire season, that's personal just because I love this character so much. Ruby is amazing. In this show, she is great, and this season really allowed her to present herself behind just the act of I'm the popular girl at school, which she played very well in the previous seasons, don't get me wrong, but it's clear that there's more to her than that she perhaps is scared to let people see. And this season goes into why she's scared. What's her home life like? What's she dealing with? What emotions does she have? Does she open herself up to anyone at all, even her friends? Are they really her friends, or is that just a way of protecting herself from other people because they're the untouchables? There's a lot of connotations with that word, with the way her life is and who she opens herself up to, who she lets in, and it's very, very well written. And I think Otis and her first of all, those two actors, their chemistry is off the charts. At one point, I really did convince myself that Ruby and Otis's chemistry might have been better than Maeve and Otis's. Obviously, towards the end of the show, you sort of realise how much you really do care for their relationship. And obviously that will be, when this show ends, which I really hope isn't for at least another 2 seasons, but when the show ends, I just feel like Otis and Maeve have to be together. That has to be it, because at the end of the day, those are the main 2 characters, and this whole show started with them just connecting on another level. Yes, it's romantic, but it's not always about that. Like, the way they connect is on a much deeper level, and I feel like it's sort of like yin and yang. She's very confident, very smart, intelligent, which is very similar to Otis. He's very smart and intelligent, but in different ways. Their characteristics are very different, and he complements her so well, whereas she does with him as well. She brings him out of his box. So yeah, I think those 2 will obviously end up together probably next season. Next season will either open with her coming back from America with another guy, or just uninterested, because obviously long-term stuff like that can change you. If you're not with someone for a long period of time, obviously you're not just going to think about them, you're going to move on, do your own things. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they take next season. But yeah, back to Ruby. The scene where she says she loves Otis and he doesn't say it back is so heartbreaking. That scene, the way she acted when he hung up that phone was so like believable. And I don't know, I think she is a standout this season, and hopefully the writers see that, or the director, or whoever needs to see that reaction from fans, that we think she's this great character, because she is. And when you give her the spotlight, and when you give her screen time and a story that really allows her to express herself, she becomes a fan-loved character, one of the best characters on the show. So yeah, I really hope she's relevant next season as well. And this isn't just, she had her time with Otis, now she's back to just nothing, because I think that's wasted potential, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the real, true best character of this show. It's not Otis, it's not Maeve. The real main character and best character of this show is Adam Groth. The layers to his character is so deep, and he's just so, this actor, I don't know who he is, but he plays it so well. He's so likable, relatable, truly the nicest person on this show, which is very interesting, because all anyone really sees is the parts of him where he is pushing people over, or he is shoving people on lockers. It's just so deep. And the way they elevate his dad, Mr. Groth, I don't know his first name, but he really stood out this season as well, because you learn about why he is the way he is. And towards the end, I really was hoping that he was going to get some redemption. Now, Adam's mum made the right decision, obviously, because Adam wasn't ready. And the fact that she knew, and he finally came out to his mum, it doesn't matter that she already knew. And she didn't mention that she knew, because she knew that wasn't that wasn't important. The fact that he finally felt comfortable within himself and came to accept himself for who he is and find what he likes to do and put the effort in at school. He just is by far the best character. Morally, his story, and just his actions, because I'm not going to lie to you, I started to really dislike Eric this season. Now, he hasn't been my favourite in the other 2 seasons as well. He's a bit too quirky in my opinion. That's just me, but he makes some horrible choices here, and I really do feel bad for Adam. So yeah, it even starts off the season where Adam just feels pressured into these things that he's not ready to do yet. And Eric's response is, "Oh, I knew you'd do this. You'd change your mind." It's like, yes, he's changing his mind. He has the right to change his mind. If he's not ready, he's not ready. That's not something you can be annoyed about. If you cared about him, you'd see that he's not ready and you'd let him wait until he is. So on that part, when Eric breaks up with him at the end of this season, that's justified fully in my opinion. That's what you should have done a lot earlier on, because it was clear that you were at a much different level of acceptance and level of how visible you want to see by people being gay, because it's clear that Adam wasn't on that same level yet. He just started to sort of experience that world for the first time. So yeah, I think Eric made a lot of stupid decisions, very unjustified and unfair on Adam towards the start of the season, and it just carries on. He leaves because he's got to go to his grandparents in Nigeria, their wedding or something, and he kisses another guy, and his excuse when he comes back is, "It just happens." No, I'm sorry. We saw in that part of the show, in that scene, that he did think about it and he was saying no, but that part of him that doesn't love Adam, and that's not his fault either. But don't string him along when it's clear you know that you're not right for him. I don't know, I just thought Eric was very out of order this season. But yeah, not going at the actor, not going at the show. I just thought the writing expected me to sort of just accept that that's how he felt, and it was just his opinion. But I really don't agree with it. So yeah, I wasn't really a fan of that. So yeah, other than that, the stuff with Maeve's mum was interesting. As always, Otis'S mum is great, and I genuinely did think they were going to kill her off. They really did play it like I fully came to terms with the fact that she was going to be killed off. And then they just changed scenes really rapidly to this upbeat, and then this upbeat song came on, and it was like, this feels out of place. Maybe they're not going to kill her off. So yeah, I really would have felt sad if she'd been killed off. But thankfully she's fine. Otis has got a sister now, as well as Ola and what's his name, Jakob, moving in to their house. I was never really a fan of Ola, I can't lie, but she was fine. She was fine this season. So yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about really. I really am interested to see where Maeve and Otis go now, because we've had all of the drama. They finally said how they feel. And oh yeah, one last thing. Isaac, the guy in the wheelchair, I hated with a passion. I hated his character so much. From the very finale of season 2, where he deleted that voicemail, just the fact that you tell her doesn't make you a good guy. It really doesn't. I get why you did it. I fully understand. That doesn't mean I find you likable now. I just thought he was very annoying. I didn't like his humour. I get how people could find him funny. That's not my type of humour. I just thought he came across very annoying and just sort of there to not let Otis and Maeve get together really. And that, I don't know, I really just didn't like his character. But other than that, The season is fantastic. I implore you to watch the show if you haven't before. And it'll be weird if you're watching this up to this point because obviously I've talked about spoilers. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts of Sex Education Season 3 if you've seen it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.